Many of the developers should have now received the new SDK for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and begin their hard work updating their aircraft to work in the new sim. We still have some developers releasing 2020 versions of their aircraft and products. We have you covered with all of this week's releases and the latest from Microsoft about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to stay up to date with all the weekly flight sim news, and if you're here for just the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 updates, skip a few minutes along or feel free to take a look at this week's release news. Thank you everybody for your support. iFly, who have been showcasing their Boeing MAX 8 aircraft the last couple of weeks, this week released a pre-release version to the community, if that makes any sense. The aircraft is available to the general public with a catch that this release is labeled as a pre-release. If you're an early adopter of the aircraft, you may see some potential issues and bugs while using this version of the MAX. That being said, we have personally been using the iFly MAX for the past 2 weeks and found it to be pretty solid add-on for a pre-release. Some of the features include with the release is ultra high definition virtual cockpit and external model, full PBR textures used throughout, dynamic lighting, 3D passenger cabin with interactive light signs, overhead lockers, window blinds and tray tables. All the doors open up including cargo holds and passenger doors, an EFB that can be used to set up weights, use of ground surfaces and performance calculations, GSX ready Navigraph integration, and the iFly team mentions they plan to update their MAX for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and they'll have more news to come on this one once they have access to the new SDK. You can pick up your copy of the iFly 737-8 MAX from the iFly store. I'll leave a link in the description below. Big Radials announced last week their in-development Jetstar aircraft will be released as a early access. This week the team released their rendition of the world's very first business jet, the Lockheed Jetstar. The Jetstar was designed as a tender for the USA Air Force, however the budget was dropped and the Jetstar was then repurposed into a business jet. The original designs had 2 Bristol Siddeley engines, and then they had supply issues with those engines and they were replaced with a pair of twin Pratt & Whitney JT12 for a total of 4 engines, giving the Jetstar its iconic look that we know. The Jetstar cruised upwards of 40,000 feet up to speeds of Mach 0.8. Features included with the early access release is a full native flight model, 4K textures with full PBR, fully interactive cockpit, custom XPDR instruments. The team have listed a bunch of features they are still working on and will include later on in future updates, such as an Elvis jet livery, improved sounds, improved flight model, custom ADF, custom SIVA and INS systems, a checklist, improvements to the cockpit panels and instruments. But for now, you can pick up your early access version of the Big Radials Lockheed Jetstar from the Big Radials store. I'll leave a link in the description below. With Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 sim arriving soon, many developers are having to choose to either put off releasing their 2020 aircraft and continue with a 2024 release, or drop some early access aircraft, which is what we've been seeing over the past months. It's certainly a hard time for developers at the moment with existing developer projects. A big thank you to our friends over at Just Flight for supporting this video. Just Flight make many highly detailed aircraft such as the Fokker F-28 and many GA Pipers, and as well as the well-known BAE 146, and publish many well-known developer aircraft such as the Black Square team with the latest aircraft, the Turbine and Piston Dukes. Just Flight have set up a discount code for Oz Flight Simmer viewers for a limited amount of time. Check out the link below and the discount code, and we would like to thank Just Flight for supporting this video. Taxiing and lining up for this week's sim update news, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is only a month from its scheduled release. This week, the Microsoft team released a recording of the global preview event that was held for content creators and media a couple of months ago. This hour-and-a-half presentation goes through all that was covered in the information that we've already heard from a lot of the content creators who attended the event. Some of the key areas they spoke about in the hour-and-a-half presentation is the core sim focus, aviation activities, and what to expect from the career mode, improvements to the digital twin world, 2024 aircraft, marketplace improvements, and different sale editions. If you've been following the 2024 news and updates closely here, you probably won't hear anything new with the presentation, but if you've had your head in the sand and you haven't been able to keep up to date, this is a great presentation to watch and you'll be fully up to date with what's happening when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I will leave a link in the description below so you can check it out. This week, the Microsoft team are back with their development live streams in the lead up to the release of the 2024 sim. This week, the team featured FlightFX as they have partnered with the Microsoft team to bring a bunch of aircraft to the default sim. The aircraft that FlightFX is bringing is the Vision Jet, the Jetson 1, the Joby S4, and the Archer Midnight. All of these aircraft, except for the Vision Jet, are electronic aircraft that are either in a prototype or a design phase in the real world. Next week, the team plans to showcase more first-party developers, which are yet to be confirmed, with them and the aircraft that will be coming to the default sim. Again, there are links in the description below if you like to check out that first party development live stream featuring FlightFX. Last weekend, the Microsoft team released the Tech Alpha test, which caught a few people off guard. Like myself, we were thinking that the Tech Alpha test would have been a little bit later in the month, but they threw it out there straight away. Over the 4 days, the purpose was to gather automatic telemetry data relating to several online services used for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The Microsoft team mentioned that the data that was collected in the Tech Alpha was tremendously valuable for the production team in preparation to launch on the 19th of November. Simmers who participated in the Tech Alpha received a glimpse into the new 2024 sim. However, the Microsoft team did mention that the Tech Alpha was not a close representation of the final release, and it was a stripped down type of release before a pre-release build. Moving over to this week's in-sim marketplace new product backlog list. This week we've seen a drop of 13 to a total of 252. Aircraft up by 3 to 34, missions are down by 12, sceneries up by 8, liveries are up by 2, airports are down by 4, and others are down by 10. In this week's marketplace releases, Monday we've seen 12 new products releases, 6 are on PC and 6 are on the Xbox console. 1 aircraft, which was the big 3 from Demons, and the other releases were made up of 1 landmark pack and 4 airports. Thursday releases included 73 new products. 36 of these are on PC and 37 of these are available on the Xbox console. 2 new aircraft that have made it to the in-sim marketplace, the first one being the Vitaria A4 Skyhawk and also the B2 Spirit from Top Mark Studios. The other products that made up the Thursday releases are 2 livery packs, 16 mission packs, 3 scenery packs, 4 night lighting packs, 1 environmental pack, and 7 airports. Thank you for getting this far in the video. Drop a sneaky subscribe if you find this video valuable and you want to stay up to date with all the weekly flight sim update news. We look forward to bringing you more weekly flight sim update news, and we will see you in another video real soon.